Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Irene Weisman, immigration attorney. Today is Thursday, December 5th. Sorry, I had to see what day today was. So, Thursday, December 5th, 2024. And the topic of today's discussion will be petition 751, which is an application for a permanent green card. It's basically an application to remove the conditions on your temporary green card, and simultaneous filing of a citizenship application. So if you are a conditional green card holder, meaning you received your conditional lawful permanent residency through marriage to a U.S. citizen, and your marriage was under 2 years at the time that USCIS has adjudicated your green card application, you would receive a 2-year green card or a conditional green card. And that means that 90 days prior to the expiration on your lawful permanent residency, you would need to file Form I-751. Which is a form that seeks to remove the conditions on your lawful permanent residency. For the form is fairly simple. Very important few things. Even though the form is fairly simple, it's the substantive documents that you accompany that petition that are incredibly important. Because USCIS wants to see what you and your spouse really have been doing with your life in the last 2 years since they last looked at your case. And another very important thing is that the 90-day window period where you get to file this petition. So today I'm only going to discuss the joint filing, okay, because that's the one that allows the simultaneous citizenship application. That's what I wanted to be for the subject of today, and I promise that another time I will do a discussion devoted to 751 entirely, and that would encompass the exceptions, basically the waivers that are allowed with the 751 when your marriage is no longer doing well, okay? But today it's the joint 751 application and the simultaneous citizenship application. So if you and your spouse are still together and living together and everything is great with your marriage, and it's time to file the petition to remove the conditions on your green card or that 751 application, you have the 90-day period to do that. I probably wouldn't wait the entire 90 days, but you have the span of the 90 days to submit that application along with proof, along with your documents that would show the bona fide nature, the continued bona fide nature of your marriage. And you submit all of that to USCIS. You will receive a receipt notice. That receipt notice is an extension of your green card. So if you need to show it for employment purposes or for travel abroad purposes, you would show the expired green card and that 751 extension or the receipt notice, okay? And those are the proper documents to that show that you continue to be a lawful permanent resident in the United States. Now, the processing times on the 751s is horrendous. It's like 2 years. I have had some petitions that have been approved after maybe a little over a year, and of course I have some that end up pending for longer than 2 years, but for the most part, on the average, about 2 years is the average processing time. At least that's what I am seeing on my cases. Now, if you continue to reside together with your spouse and that 751 is pending, okay, you can submit your application for citizenship after the 3 years, okay? So because, the statute allows it, the law allows it, if you received your green card through marriage, you're allowed to apply for naturalization 3 years after the receipt of that green card. They can't approve your citizenship application until your 751 is approved. So we have a pending 751. We know that it's going to be pending forever, okay? But you're also eligible to file for citizenship. So what can we do? We can do the simultaneous filing. So your 751 is pending. It's now 3 years, okay, since you've had your green card. We can submit an application for naturalization based on joint, the joint residency with your spouse. That's what allows it, okay? And we would still submit the joint documents that show the continued residency. And then during your interview, they would hopefully adjudicate the 751 and your citizenship application. So in the ideal case scenario, when you come in for your naturalization interview, USCIS will have your entire file, meaning it will also have the 751 petition that was pending, okay, that was taken forever, and they would have that, and the officer can adjudicate that, and then they can also, do the test for citizenship and adjudicate your citizenship application. Typically, in that case scenario, I do ask that the U.S. citizen spouse accompanies you along to that interview in case the officer has any questions. I've never really had an officer ask any questions for my U.S. citizen spouse. Sometimes they ask them to sit outside. Sometimes they ask them to come on in and be present at the interview. Everybody does it differently, but I do ask that the spouse is present. The adjudication takes a little bit longer because, especially the 751 file did not make it to the district office for the citizenship interview. So they'll still do the citizenship interview, but the case may be delayed for processing because they got to process the 751, okay? And when they process the 751, they won't send you the 10-year card. What they will do is they'll schedule, if all goes well, they'll schedule the oath ceremony, okay? And you will just, go in, return the conditional card, and they'll do the oath, and you receive your naturalization certificate, okay? And that's that. So as I said, and sometimes the 751 file does not make it, and that can delay things, okay? But eventually it gets resolved, and and all goes well. I once had a case, this was not too long ago actually, and this was out of Philadelphia. My client lived in Philly, and they scheduled that citizenship interview so fast. It was like literally weeks after we submitted it. And they didn't have the 751 file, but it got resolved. I followed through with it, and we called USCIS, and we submitted an inquiry, and it still got resolved maybe within 4 or 5 months. Out here in New York, because if you wait 6, 8, 9 months for depending on which district office, whether it's Queens, New York, or Brooklyn, or Long Island, because we tend to wait a little bit longer for the citizenship interview. They usually do have the 751 file, and that officer is able to do the 751 and N400 interview simultaneously, and that tends to work out well. Please know that you have that option. For that option to work, you and your spouse must be living together in a bona fide marital union, and you need to be prepared to show that with documents and have the spouse present at the citizenship interview. But it's definitely a great option to have. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon. Bye.